I think a lot of women like to play their cards with a lot of guys and see what's out there, and then they fuck over like the good one, and then when they try to come back, it's because like they realize like the grass wasn't greener elsewhere.
Or they're just testing to know if they still have access. It's different. Sometimes they don't always want it. They just want to make sure that you haven't moved on, and they could still come back if they want to. And then if you say yeah, they're like, wow, this guy still has no respect for himself.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
so it's a lose-lose for the guy.
Yeah.
You can lose.
No. You don't get anything out of that. And honestly, we talk about it all the time. Like, there's a difference between being a nice guy and being a good guy.
Yes.
True.
You know, so it's just like,
yeah, being a nice guy gets walked over. You're a doormat. Being a good man, you respect yourself and you don't put up with the shit that the nice guy does.
Yeah.
You're not going to be gaslit into thinking that what you're doing is wrong just because you're being like an open, good guy, nice guy. Good guys are also nice, but there's like a boundary there. Nice guys don't really have any boundaries. And I've been there before 100%. It's hard to put those boundaries up later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're listening to the X Podcast. The X you keep coming back to.
Hey guys, welcome back to the X Podcast. It's your host, Alessia. I just finished going on the Journey podcast, and I'm here with Zach and I'm blanking out. John. Zach and John. And I just finished going on their podcast, and we talked a lot about dating from the female perspective. And now I figured since, we're doing another episode back to back, I'm going to ask them about, the men's perspective. So you guys are both single. We spoke about, actually, let's dive right in.
I'm still single. I'm not moving like I'm single, but I'm single. Yeah.
You're basically taken.
Yeah.
And you're single.
Yeah.
When was your last relationship?
I'd say this spring would be 2 years ago. So like almost 2 years, like fully single.
Okay. And being single, what would you say is like the biggest lesson you learned?
I've gotten so much of just like my mental bandwidth and time back. I feel like when I'm in a relationship, I'm so invested into it that I allow it sometimes to take me away from what I need to do, or when it's not good, because there's a lot of times, at least for me, like I deal with a lot of stuff, and like maybe I'm not the happiest, right? Or maybe I'm not the most content in my life or where I'm at. So if a girl comes in and fills that void for me and makes me happy, I almost put all of my happiness into her. Ooh. So then when she leaves, or it's not there anymore, or there's problems in the relationship, now I have nothing because I'm not like fulfilling myself without her. So I've seen myself have that repetitive cycle in my previous relationships. And that's why like the heartbreak and when the relationship was rocky, it really affected me. So I'm like staying far away from that to like really work on myself and heal myself to know that whether you're here or not, I'm going to be good regardless. And I don't want to depend on someone else to fulfill me or make me happy, because I've seen what that has done to me in the past.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm 2 years. Yeah.
So you get into a relationship now, let's say like in 2-3 months from now. What do you think like is gonna be different now to not see those same patterns?
The girl can't be like my number one thing in my life.
Right, for sure.
Yeah. I think that in the past where I've like that's what I've done, where I was like, no matter what else is going, as long as I got her, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that anymore. And and the right girl will understand that. I feel like I was with 100%. The wrong women in the past, that the only way for them to be with me was if they were my number one. So I've never had a woman like actually challenge me and push me to be better and to want more. I've had the girls that, let's watch Netflix, let's go pumpkin picking, let's do this nonsense that's taking you away from the man that I want you to be. And really, the only way that I'll stay with you is if you become that man, but I'm not going to make you or help you become that man.
Zach, this makes so much sense.
Yeah.
I feel like I get you now.
Yeah.
I get the questions you asked me before. Everything makes sense. Everything makes sense now. Okay, got it. Yeah.
Yeah, so-
because when
yeah.
you'll be with a woman who will challenge you and want the best for you, she won't do all of that.
Yeah.
She's not going to pull you away from work. She's not going to do any of that. She's going to help you succeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
you just gotta keep on your train, just keep doing your thing, and the right girl's gonna come.
Yeah, I'm in no rush. I'm in no rush to find, I'm just trying to take it day by day and be open. I'm like open to everything, attached to nothing.
What do you think her best and worst quality was?
Which one?
Well, I'm sure that most of the girls had similar qualities. If you didn't change, then the qualities in the woman were probably similar.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a good point.
I think women really struggle in dating when they don't have a father figure in their life.
That is factual.
A lot of the women I've dated have not had a significant father figure in their life, and that bleeds into relationships. And I've seen that. So that was one thing where they've never had a man be assertive and be confident in what they say. So they take it as, why are you telling me what to do? Or, I've never had this before. So now it feels like it almost feels combative versus like, I'm just trying to lead you versus
Right.
trying to control you. I'm not trying to control you, I'm trying to lead you in the right direction.
Yeah.
And that's what I've seen. So your question was, what was your question again?
What's a good quality and a bad quality?
I think a good quality that I attract in women is they all have a good heart. I think they all mean well, even though that their actions don't always show it. And I'm a compassionate and empathetic enough man to realize that like these girls are hurt and they're dealing with their own shit. And even though that they took it out on me, they still like they're still a good person. Like I know like deep down somewhere in there, like there is like this sweet, innocent girl, but like they've been so hurt and done wrong in the past that they have a wall and a shield up that they're not going to allow finally the good guy that comes in to bring that out of them. So I've gotten like taken advantage of, like my kindness for a weakness because of their past versus like what the actual reality was now. And then I guess the bad ones, those were
The bad
very
one
different.
was not her decision, but no father.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, no, not that, but like that. I think that bled into it. But I think it was a mix of that stemming down. But I think they were all very different. But I think it's tough. I think a lot of it stemmed from past trauma.
Yeah.
I think a lot of women carry baggage and like they don't actually do the healing. And a lot of hurt women fuck over good guys because they didn't heal from their past. And then they turn those good guys into bad guys because he finally got his shit together and did right. And then it got taken advantage of because she wasn't willing to look in the mirror and deal with her past. So she just put that on him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now he has to figure it out. And that's tough for a man sometimes.
I think it goes both ways with that too. though.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So do you guys think the nice guys finish last?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Disagree. Fucking disagree.
Oh, because
with
nice
this.
guys get walked all over and taken advantage of.
No. I think at the beginning, nice guys finish last, but then eventually a woman, if she's healed, will truly want the nice guy. I think at the beginning, no, if she's in her toxic stage, but if you're healed, you want the nice guy. I promise you.
Yeah, but what that sounds like is like if you're a nice guy and you're with a girl that you really like, but she's toxic, you just need to ride through the phase until she realizes what she has.
No.
That's what it sounds like to me.
No. I think the nice guys finish last when a girl isn't ready in there. Then, then if a girl's in a toxic stage, you can be nice and you won't end up together because she's not ready for that like 50-50 companionship, right? Because she wants the game, she wants all this. But when, for example, me, who's at a stage, I truly, genuinely like want a nice guy. These things won't give me the ick. If a guy shows 100% like I'm like all in, let's do this, you know, like it's different. It's in the past, I wasn't ready for that and I enjoyed the toxic. So I was like, yeah, nice guys finish last. But when you're ready, you truly want the nice guy, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what I was saying, like off camera. I mean, I don't care. I'll talk about it here. I was that nice guy for the girl that was
toxic though.
super toxic.
100%.
Like,
So now you're jaded, right? Because
You're
now
like, I'm never
think
gonna
that-
be nice again.
Now you think I'm not going to be nice again because that's not going to get me the girl, and that's not true.
no, that is also not true. I will always be nice. That's just who I am.
Okay.
I'm always going to like, that's just innately who I am. I can't be like mean. I just can't. Like,
Yeah.
I wish I could be meaner
Okay.
to women sometimes. Like, I really do wish I could put my foot down. But I'm saying like, I could never, like you said, I could never look at her the same. So now she's ready, right? She realized what she lost. She wrote down, handwritten letter. I'm not the same person I was. I changed. I wasn't ready for a man like you. But like now I am. But it's like, well,
But that's just life.
it's too late now.
100%.
You
And
know?
I think that that's amazing that she realized that. I think it's amazing, but the chances and probability of it working if you went back is 1% just because old habits die hard.
Yeah.
And like because you know each other on this level, it's very hard to like change that. Like it is because
Yeah.
eventually you're gonna fall back on your old ways.
Yeah. I can
You
never
know?
look at her the same.
Yeah.
Like,
She
ever.
also-
I don't.
Maybe she thought she meant it, but she didn't mean it. I've been with women where that's happened before, where they came back and they're like, I wasn't ready for this. And then we got back and it still wasn't good.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
I think a lot of women like to play their cards with a lot of guys and
Yeah.
see what's out there, and then they fuck over like the good one, and then when they try to come back, it's because like they realize like the grass wasn't greener elsewhere.
Or they're just testing to know if they still have access. It's
That-
different. Sometimes they
that too.
don't always want it. They just want to make sure that you haven't moved on and they could still come back if they want to. And then
Yeah.
if you say yeah, they're like, wow, this guy still has no respect for himself.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah, so it's a lose-lose for the
Yeah,
guy.
100%.
yeah.
Fucking
well,
lose-lose.
You don't get anything out of that. And honestly, we talk about it all the time. Like, there's a difference between being a nice guy and being a good guy.
Yes.
True.
You know, so it's just like,
Yeah, being a nice guy gets walked over, you're a doormat. Being a good man, you respect yourself and you don't put up with the shit that the nice guy does.
Yeah.
yeah, you're not going to be gaslighting into thinking that what you're doing is wrong just because you're being like an open, good guy, nice guy. Good guys are also nice, but there's like a boundary there. Nice guys don't really have any boundaries. And I've been there before 100%. And it's hard to put those boundaries up later.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
And you said you're like kind of seeing someone. Could we
Yeah.
talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so on the Journey podcast, you were talking about how you guys aren't like officially dating, but
Yeah.
you're taking it really slow.
Yeah.
What would you say is like the one benefit that you've noticed from taking it really slow?
Just being able to become like the absolute best of friends first, because we are very similar. And I used to think that I needed to be with somebody that was a little bit different than I was, you know. A lot of the relationships that I have been in before, or situationships, it always leaned one way or the other. And what I mean by that is that like I could be very goofy and silly, but I could also be very serious and alpha. And most of the relationships that I had been in always leaned one way. She was also goofy and silly and not really like, couldn't really get serious, or they just were trying to be a little bit too alpha. And I'm also an alpha as a man. So like egos would collide. And with her now, I feel like she has a good balance between the two. And I'm also working on my balance between the two. And we also just like really get along as best friends, not platonically, obviously, but like, I just think that you need to be best friends with your forever person. And again, like I said on the Journey pod, I date with intention. You know, am I expecting to get married within a year or two? No, absolutely not. But I date with the intention of thinking like the next person that I'm with hopefully is the last one, right? And I think that you really need to build from a solid foundation. And I think just both of our foundations, when we met each other, were still cracked. And we were still just trying to figure out how to knock down the house that we were in separately, instead of just trying to renovate and rebuild the house that was falling down. We're still both working on like letting that house fall down and clearing it out so that we can come together and build one together. And I think that that's something that I learned the hard way, because I was in a relationship for 5 years and I broke up with her. And I kind of jumped right into something right away, almost like within a month. And she was the complete opposite of what I had been with. And I thought like, wow, I'm in the right place now. Like I was with somebody for 5 years. I wasn't feeling it. I found somebody completely different, right? Whether it was good different or bad different is whatever. But it was different. And like that crashed and burned like that. And it was really hard, right? That was really hard. And then we got back together on and off for 2 years.
You got back together with the...
With one that I was with for 5 years. I broke up with her. I was with somebody else on and off for, let's say, like a year. And then we got back together later on and off again. It was very like wobbly, obviously. And
Did you like almost only see her value once you guys weren't together?
I saw her value when we were together because she was with me when, not that I'm nowhere near as successful as I want to be, but like I knew her when I was 23 years old. I didn't have anything, you know? And we worked in the same restaurant together, you know? So I saw her value for sure. But it got to a point where I thought, and I'll preface to say, I was wrong, right? In this thinking that I'm going to say. But I got to a point where I was like, all right, I finally am running my business full time now on my own. I was under a lot of pressure. Don't really have like my dad in my life. So I don't really have that alpha to look up to in a way. So like I was trying to become that alpha like really, really quick. And it was bleeding into my relationship to the point where it's like, I can't be in one. It had nothing to do with her. It had everything to do with me. But I say that, and then I jumped right into something completely opposite that almost right away, like arm candy type shit, which was the complete wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
You know? So just like we could joke around and say, oh, you've been talking to this girl that I'm talking to now for 4 months. How you guys like not together and shit? And of course, it's always in the back of my mind because I am an inherently anxious person and I do see a future with her, but it's in the future though. And we're both on the same page about that because she also kind of went through something similar from the woman's perspective where she just was not treated right and developed maybe some habits that she didn't want to have. And now she's like, fuck, John, you're one of the best, if not the best guys I've ever met. And I don't want to treat you how I was treated because that's how I feel right now because I just was broken before. So it's like if we were to hop into something right now, it would probably crash and burn. And I really think she's my person. It's very early, but I really do think she's my person. So I don't want to jump into it too early.
But getting into a relationship, what would really change than what you're doing right now?
Well, she lives a little far away. She's like into Long Island. We only see each other like once a week.
Okay.
So I don't really have a lot of time to put into a relationship in the sense of like physically. Like the way I look at it is I like to be with my girl a lot. And it could be a mistake because you want a little bit of balance, but I don't really have the time, and neither does she, to like spend the majority of the week together. Like, and we both also kind of do the same thing for a living. She's on social media. I'm on social media. She doesn't make clothes, but like she's on social media. She's an influencer. Me too. So in that sense, it makes sense. But I think like once you get into a relationship, it's meeting parents. Are you coming to Christmas dinner? Am I coming over for like things like that? We're not there yet because once you open that can of worms, it doesn't really get closed. Now I know your parents. Now you know my mom. My mom obviously wants the best for me. Your parents want what's best for me. And I think that we're the best for each other. But maybe we're not there yet where it's like that. You know what I'm saying? And I think it might take a little bit to get there. You know, have I met her mother? Yeah, but it was in passing. I wasn't like, let's go sit down and have a conversation and ask me questions about me. You know what I'm saying? And I would be okay with that. But like what happens after that is that you become more and more like this and like this. And I just don't know if we're ready to be that close yet. That like in a relationship standpoint, we're best friends, but it's going to take probably into the year a little bit if all goes well, right? Because I'm also a very anxious person and I deal with that a lot and I bleed onto women and I'm trying not to do that anymore because I've been burned a lot in the past. I have abandonment issues. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been left before, like overnight is what it felt like. So when I feel a woman like pulling away from me a little bit, my natural reaction is always to try to get closer. And that's the last thing that you should be doing.
Yeah.
And I had to learn that the hard way.
Those relationships where they kind of just left, what was like the reason?
I mean, in the relationship that I was in for the long-term one is I just bled all over her. I wasn't where I wanted to be in my life. As far as success and freedom is concerned, that my mental bandwidth was always about how am I going to get out of this hole that I'm in? And I wasn't emotionally available while inside of a relationship. That's fucking ridiculous. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it took me a minute to like even realize I wasn't emotionally available. I just thought showing up, talking all the time, good night, good morning, whatever the case may be, is enough. When really that's just like the bare minimum.
Yeah.
That's not 100%. Emotional. That's not emotional availability.
100%.
Emotional availability is a lot more than that. Can I verbalize it right now? Not really, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And like I just wasn't there. I was bleeding all over her to the point where she was like, I'm tired of changing my clothes. I gotta go. you know, and that's kind of what happened. Now, to me, it seems like it happened overnight, but obviously it wasn't overnight. My perspective is it happened overnight. To her perspective, it was like, I can't believe you didn't fucking see this coming.
Yeah.
You know? So it just like slaps you in the face. So like, was I 100% in the wrong? Absolutely. And that's why I say that the next thing that I get into, which is hopefully with the woman I'm talking to now, is it's not going to be something that we rush into. It's got to be like, I'm not saying you're going to have everything figured out and I'm going to ask a question and all is going to be good in the world. But like, we both want to be in a better place where it's like, once that does arise, we're confident in the fact that like, okay, we could build together now, you know?
Yeah.
So that's just kind of my lore a little bit relationship wise.
Okay. No, makes sense.
You know?
Makes sense. We're going to go back to you, Zach. I'm dead. So what's the story with you flying out a chick to Miami? Let's just go straight into it. Because we're in Miami.
Sure. No, she was my girl at the time.
Were you guys dating or just like seeing each
Dating.
other?
Yeah, dating. Yeah, she was my girlfriend at the time. It was very rocky situation. And then it was Valentine's Day that I had planned in New York City. I had the whole day planned out. I tried to make her life easier. She was going to Miami. She had a dog. So I was like, hey, like, I'll come out to the city. My birthday's the day after Valentine's Day. So I was like, hey, we can celebrate everything together. You're leaving the day on the 16th. I can take your car back to Long Island and bring your dog back to your parents' house so you don't have to take that trip, right? It was this whole thing. Somehow it was me being selfish because I needed to use her car, right? It was this whole thing. She canceled Valentine's Day, right? No answer, no show, nothing. This is my girlfriend, okay? She probably went out with her ex. Call it what it is.
Yeah, if you're not with your man on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, and it was because of that, because I made Valentine's Day about me.
She just like manipulated you.
Yeah, she was a narcissist. Yeah. Okay. Then the next day is my birthday. I'm out in Brooklyn. I had a shoot in Manhattan, and then she lived in Brooklyn. So I was like, oh, I'll shoot over, whatever. Let's get dinner. It's cool. Grab dinner on my birthday. I pay for dinner on my birthday. That's cool. It's whatever. Like I have no problem paying for it. But then I get asked, can you pay for my hotel in Miami? We're about to lose the reservation for me and my friends. And I'm like, oh, it's my birthday. I just paid for dinner. You just ruined Valentine's Day and you were probably with your ex. So I waited and I was just like, well, let me know if y'all can figure it out. And then it got to the last minute. And I was like, whatever, I'm a nice guy. So I just sent the money. She went to Miami, absolutely ghosted me. I didn't hear from her the entire week. Posting on Instagram, everything. This is my girlfriend.
How old is she?
A year younger than me. She was 26 at the time, 27. Okay. In Miami, posting everything, just like absolute ghosted me. Comes back to New York, hits me up immediately. And I'm like, yo, we need to talk. So I meet her. We go for a walk, like in a trail, like on the park. And she told me she was with the dude from Top Boy, Jamie. You watch Top Boy?
No.
Oh, it's a good show. You should watch it. No, he's a good actor. I forgot his real name.
He's a good actor. He banged my girl.
No, I fucked him. I fucked him. I fucked with him. Hey, yo.
Man.
Maybe those happy
She
dads.
said that. No. No, I fucked with him, Jamie, as like, he was like
And
my
you
favorite.
fucked him.
No, I did not do that. I really liked his character in the show. And then when she said that, you know that guy that you showed me, I put her on to the show.
Yeah.
And supposedly she ran to him in Miami. She was like, yeah, I didn't do anything, but like we were just with him for the week, right? So, and I was like, whoa. But I stayed with her after that, which was crazy.
Yeah.
That was before the vacation.
This is all on you.
No, I know.
This has nothing to
No,
do
absolutely.
with it.
Everyone around me, intuitively, in my gut, I knew I should have left her months ago.
Yeah.
I put up with it because I don't know, the nice guy syndrome in me saw this like sweet, innocent, hurt girl, and like she would show signs of it. She was really good at it, but she would show signs of like being this person that I really liked. But then the other side of her, it was like Jekyll and Hyde. And it was tormenting because it was like, oh, I can save her. So I wanted to play this nice guy syndrome. I think that's what Dr. Robert Glover talks about this. Are you familiar with him?
Okay, no.
Should look like he talks about men and women a lot. You guys should look into him. He has a book called No More Mr. Nice Guy. And he talks about how when you are a nice guy, you feel the need to want to save a woman.
Right.
So your whole identity in this relationship is saving a broken woman, is trying to heal someone that doesn't want to do the healing for themselves. And you can only give them so much to make them the person that you want them to be. And then when they finally reach that threshold, even if they didn't do the work themselves, you feel like you did your job. But what happens when you're trying to save a broken person and then you bring them to safety? You're out of a job. So when you bring a broken woman to feeling safe, right, even though she didn't do the work, she doesn't need you anymore.
Yeah.
So now I'm the nice guy that is unemployed because I saved her, right? Like she maybe felt like she was undeserving of love. Men treated her like shit in the past. Like you showed her that, you're deserving of love.
Yeah.
You're worth it. Right? But she actually didn't want to be with you. You were just the nice guy to fill the void, to build herself back up, to go back out and get someone else.
Yeah.
And that's why nice guys always get crushed, because they feel like if I save her, I can change her into who I want her to be, but you're just saving her for someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
That's so fucking true for both, I think.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah. Because women do that too. I can only obviously speak from, but like I've done that where like I felt like I've had like broken women in the past, and I'm like, all right, well, I feel like I got a good head on my shoulders. I'm a nice guy. Like I feel like I can make life better for you. And then you bring them up, and then they're like, oh well, shit, I don't need you.
Yeah.
I don't need you anymore, or I don't want that. He's too nice, or I don't want. Why is he putting up with this? When it's like, bro, like I can see you're broken. I'm trying to empathize with you. I'm trying to show you that through all your flaws and imperfections and everything you have wrong with you, just like I do with myself, I can look past that and realize like you still have a good heart. You're still worth loving and you're deserving of love. But the broken women can't see that.
But do you think that now after you built her up, now she's going into the world and she's like good again? I don't think so.
No, she tried to come back. Obviously not.
Yeah.
She tried.
Because then when a guy does it to her and she doesn't feel that like safety anymore and she feels like she's worthless, she's going to come back to get your attention again to build herself up again. But then you're not going to take her back. And then she just spirals and then she's back at square one. So like you built her up, but not really. Mm-hmm. She's going to get her karma, you know?
Of course.
100%.
And the nice guy syndrome that's still embedded in me, like I feel bad for her. All the shit that she did to me, I still feel bad for her.
Yeah, because you're a good person.
I really I genuinely feel bad for her. It's sad. It's a sad story. Because somewhere deep down in her, there is a good girl. There is. Yeah. I've seen it. I think like people can fake it, but when there are flashes of genuineness in someone, like I can see it. And you can tell from just the way that they speak, the tone of their voice, the facial expression on them. Like you can tell like, like you're just a broken person, and like one, nobody ever came to tell you that like it's okay, and two, you never took the time to really work on yourself. So they're just gonna like just still explore the world as like this like broken, lost woman, and it's sad for the women that end up down that road, because there are good men out there that will treat you right, but you have to be willing to accept it. You can't accept love if you're not open to it.
Yeah. And
a lot of these women just aren't, because they haven't taken the time to heal from their past.
Yeah. What would you say is like the thing you guys hate most about women in this generation?
That's a crazy question.
That is a crazy
hate
one.
most?
I love all women. No.
Like, but in this generation, what do you think is the thing that frustrates you guys the most about our generation? And that you wish you can like change this about women?
I think
because like women are going to be listening to this episode, and I kind of want to give them insight on things as a woman that they should maybe like do differently or understand from like a male's perspective.
I think certain women, right, we're not going to generalize, but we're just giving advice. I think women need to let men be men more. I feel like there's, on one hand, the trendy thing is to be like, men are being mad feminine lately. Why are you wearing a Van Cleef, XYZ, whatever, right?
Nasty.
But the other side to it is women are being mad masculine and trying to be alphas, and they have egos just like men do. And it starts to clash. And I'm not saying, I think there's gender roles to an extent. And I think that we've kind of lost track of that in this women empowerment era. And I'm not saying that women don't deserve to be empowered. I'm just saying that if you want a masculine alpha man, well, let him be that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And unless you're looking for a submissive man, which I'm sure those are out there, and you want to be, whether it's the breadwinner or like whatever the case may be, I think you need to let a man be a man. And I think that's where the egos start to clash, and that's where shit just doesn't work out. And obviously you don't want to generalize, but I'm just saying, like, that's what I've noticed and what I've seen, because I've been with women before that they want everything. They want the bills paid. They want X, Y, and Z, whatever, but they also don't give the man the space to be the man.
Yeah.
You know, so you can't have your cake and eat it too. There has to be.
Like, what are the things that they do though that make them feel so alpha?
I guess it's just like
don't tell me what to do, don't tell me what to wear type of thing? Or
again, just from a personality standpoint, I guess. I don't know if I can necessarily pinpoint it like in hindsight, looking back at it, but having that alpha mentality as a woman that's in a relationship with someone who is also alpha, you're just the egos are gonna start to collide.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like if you're a woman, shut up. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just saying like there's a time and place for a lot of things. And if you want that man who is gonna pay your bills or just be the protector, fuck the bills, just be the protector and provide you stability, whatever that happens to be, well then let him do that instead of being on top of him with every single thing that he does and like nitpicking it and overthinking everything that he does. I'm not saying let him treat you like a piece of shit. I'm just saying let him be the alpha man that you want. But when he's doing that, you kind of do things to make him be like, damn, why is she so, not feminine? I think there's a world of women that are being extremely masculine, but then also berating men for being feminine. When they're not trying to be feminine, they're just reacting to a masculine woman. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think a lot of it is that like independence type of thing, where like I've dealt with that, where it's like to the smallest things, where it's like, oh, like let me help you with that. Like, no, I got it. And then like you can't do it, and then you ask me for help.
Do you want a girl who's got it to be like, yeah, babe, please do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I want to help you. I want to make your life as easy as possible. So women, if you're
listening, even if you got it, let him do it.
Yeah, like I want to make your life as easy as possible. If I can help you in any regard and I'm offering my assistance and help, it's not because you need me. That's the thing with these like independent women. They don't want to feel like I need anyone to help. I'm not saying you need me. I know you are capable of doing it on your own.
Yeah.
I trust you. That's why you're my partner.
Yeah.
Like I believe in you. Like I know you're a strong woman and you are capable of doing these things. But let me help you.
Yeah. Men love to feel needed for
well,
sure.
We want to be of value. That's the thing. I feel the most comfortable in a situation where I'm providing value. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. When a man doesn't feel like he's providing you value in your life anymore, he feels lost in the relationship.
Yeah.
Because then you don't need him. If you make a man feel like you don't need him, well then what's his role then?
Yeah.
Where does he show up in the relationship? Yeah, sure. You can show up financially. Sure. You can show up in the bedroom. Sure. And please her. Cool. But like, there's so much more than just financial and physical pleasure, the in-betweens where he can show up for you. But if you don't allow him to show up for you, now he feels lost. And when a man feels lost in a relationship, that's where the insecurities come out. That's where the indecisiveness comes out, because now he's second guessing everything he does. Should I offer my help here? Should I offer assistance? Should I say this?
I saw a reel that was like, if ever a man asks you, hey, do you need anything? Even if you don't need anything, find something you need. Always. He asked, do you want a coffee at Starbucks? You don't want it? Say you want a coffee at Starbucks. And I was like, honestly, kind of true though. Like men just want to feel needed. And I think maybe certain women feel like, but why do I have to say I want this if I don't? But it's like, I feel like sometimes you just gotta understand men.
Yeah.
And I do think that sometimes women will dumb down a lot to like give that, you know, which, but at the end of the day, like it's true. It's very much true.
It makes the man just more confident in the relationship to want to do more.
I also think like women sometimes don't want to be a bother and they don't realize that the bother you think is a bother is like, please give me this. You know, they're like, oh, I want to kind of look perfect. Like and it's not even coming from like an alpha standpoint. It's just showing that like you got this and like you don't want to bother them. And it's like men need to be bothered.
Yeah.
100%.
To feel needed.
100%.
So that's so fucking true.
Yeah, that's just when men feel alive in a relationship.
Do men fall in love through peace or through challenge?
Peace.
Through peace?
Peace for sure.
Oh, peace, yeah.
Yeah. Because I think when I hear challenge, I think of like the chase, right? So a lot of the times when you make a man chase, once he gets it inherently, right? Subconsciously, it's like, okay, I got it. I'm good, right? But you know if a man really likes you is when you make him chase and then he finally gets you and he still is acting the same as if he was chasing, that's when he's at peace.
Yeah.
You know?
Sometimes peace creates boredom in men.
That too.
Sometimes men thrive off the chase.
Yeah.
So it's hard.
Yeah.
But like, I think overall, a man just wants peace of mind. We have enough, like, I don't think women understand what goes through a man's mind on a day-to-day when he's trying to figure out his life, that if you come in with more shit and make his life more difficult, that's like a repellent. It's like, I want nothing to do with this. But if you can come in with all the things that I'm dealing with that I don't voice to you because I don't want to put my life and my struggles onto you. I want your life to be easier. If you come in and bring me peace, that's all I'm really looking for.
Yeah.
Now, a mature man is happy and content with that peace. The immature man, once he gets peace, once he wins the chase, right, and he gets what he's looking for, he gets bored and wants a new chase.
Yeah.
Well, that's just an immature man. But the man that
100%.
is really fulfilled and understands what he wants out of life, with all the shit he has going on in his mind that no one knows about, if there's a woman that can come in and like give him peace of mind and kind of like make it relax for a second, make his mind calm, he'll keep her. But the woman that makes it more chaotic in his mind, he wants nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucking true.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah.
He said it perfectly. It's just that we got a lot going on in our heads that we don't want to have to worry about you.
Do you think men have a harder life or women?
Men. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Men.
we can't speak.
No, I mean, I don't know.
I
Sure,
agree.
I can't speak on it. I'm not a woman, but like,
There's a lot more pressure on a man.
yeah, like, I mean,
You don't think it's equal, just different?
no.
No,
Really?
No, I don't.
Men have a lot more pressure on them, especially in today's society.
I think there's different types
But you
of
don't
pressure.
think women have different
I think
pressures?
No, of course
I think
you
that's
have
what I just said.
pressure.
I think there's different types of
100%.
pressure, right? So your pressure is like, if your goals is to have a family, have children and get married and do all these things, like, yes, that's a different type of pressure that a man will never feel, right? But the odds of you getting that are pretty likely. The odds of me getting to where I set out in my head when I was a little kid are very slim. You can get that. Like, you as a 30-year-old beautiful woman, you can go and you will find a man that is going to love you correctly and take care of you and give you everything you want. And like, you don't have to change. You don't have to do much to get that. You really don't. Like, you will get that because of that. Just what it is. For John and I to get to where we want in life and still attract the woman that we dream of, this is there's a lot of pressure and shit that's gonna happen to get there. Because like you said, like, you want to be taken care of financially. So like, you have that option. I don't have the option of being taken care of financially. So not only do I have to financially take care of myself, I have to do it for a wife and hopefully children. And hopefully my children's children. to give them a good life.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of pressure that I have to do that I'm trying to figure out in my 20s right now versus like, yeah, like a woman deals with pressure. Of course, there are societal pressures and dating standards. Absolutely. But I don't think the pressures are the same. It doesn't mean one is outweighs the other, but I just personally think a man deals with so much more when you are talking about this traditional lifestyle of just like the dynamic between men and women. So I personally think men have it a little bit harder in that sense of like, well, you know, we got to figure it out for not just us, but our entire ecosystem.
For sure.
Yeah.
But that also like keeps you guys like excited in
We
a
need
way.
that.
You need that.
I need that.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Take that away from you guys and it's over.
We have nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel the most alive when I'm working towards something.
Yes.
When I don't have something to work towards, bad things happen.
That don't make it any easier though. It's just hard. That's the thing. You know, it's
Yeah.
hard. And yes, like you said, it's a lot of pressure. And the other thing is that men are expected to just suffer in silence. So it's just like, and I don't use suffer as like a pity word. I'm just saying whatever men are going through, whatever the mental battles, trying to be successful, that they started from nothing and then trying to make fucking wine out of fucking water. Like, no matter what you're going through for the most part, society just expects you to shut the fuck up and deal with it. And you're a man. So get it going. You know what I'm saying? Figure it out. And that's tough. That's tough for men. And that's why we're different, because on our platform, we don't abide by that. We're going to talk and we're going to, you know, let things out, and that helps us move forward. And the right woman is going to see that and understand that. But from a general perspective, there's a lot of men out there who just push down the things that they're going through and expecting them to go away through, let's say it's hard work or like whatever the case may be. And that's just like not the case, you know? And I just think, I don't know, it's difficult sometimes to be a man from that perspective. But I could also understand how difficult it probably is to be a woman too, and the pressure that you guys feel, societal pressure and dating pressure to be tip top all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I get that. It's different pressures, but I do think that ours is more, you know?
Yeah.
Are you someone that's emotionally available for your man, like when he feels when he's maybe suffering in silence? Like, are you open to a man telling you about his insecurities and the things that are very vulnerable? Does that like give you the ick, or are you turned off for that? Or do you like a man that is emotionally available and feels open talking about maybe the things that he doesn't want anyone else to know?
100%. I think once you decide you're with somebody and they're like your ride or die, for sure you want them to open up. You want to have good communication. You know, like I used to say like, oh my God, if a man cries, like I have the ick. Like, why are you crying? Get it together.
Yeah, I've heard you. I think I've heard you say that.
Yeah. And I think over the years, I've definitely changed in the sense where like, I think for sure men deal with so much like in their own minds, and like it is nice to have a woman who's like, okay, you can feel comfortable enough to like open up and I'm still here. I just think that if it's like a lot of problems and it's all the time, I'm going to start feeling like you don't got this and you're unstable. And then that's where it's like, ooh, I don't know if I can be with this person. And that's just me being 100% real.
The man has got to be making strides to be stronger and to be better.
I need a guy who's, I'm not super emotional actually. Like I'm pretty self-aware and stuff. And I feel like if I have someone who's really emotional, it won't work with me. So I don't know, like, I don't feel, I feel like a lot of women do like when a guy cries and like is, you know, really in tune with their feelings, but I can't have too much of emotion. So maybe a bit is okay, but not a lot. And that's probably from me, like never really seeing my dad cry or like seeing how my dad was. Like I've seen my dad cry once in his entire life, and it was when my grandfather died. Like, and it was the weirdest thing for me to see him cry, because I'm like, this is so weird. So obviously that's gonna bleed into like relationships, right? Like a guy's like crying in front of my face. I'm like,
yeah, you're the alpha that was in your life the whole
get
life, never
it,
cried.
like get it together, you know? But at the same time, it's like you should feel like you can, you know.
Well, yeah,
but I think that's most women, and that's why a lot of men don't feel safe and open to do that, because it's just like, yes, we're men, but like we still feel the same shit y'all feel, you know. So like there are times where maybe we are going through a rough patch, and maybe I don't want to talk to my boys about this.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I need that feminine energy to come in and just like make it okay. Like, how do you think, what would be your perspective on how a woman can make a man feel emotionally safe in like a vulnerable state?
Like if he's going through a hard time,
He's
and
going
I know
through a hard time. What do you do to make him feel okay?
I think like in my last relationship, when he was having hard like times or thoughts or like bad conversations with his parents, I feel like I was just like very motivating. Like, this is gonna pass. Like, you're gonna be good. Like, I'm here. I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere. I think it's just being there for somebody and like being like, you know, trying to give them advice, but in a way of not trying to make them like take your advice, more just like, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere, you know? Like reassurance and like, you'll figure it out. But if it's all the time, I'm telling you, that's when women get turned off.
For sure.
Because it's like, I don't want to like figure out my fucking problems, you know? Like, I don't want to be there the whole time, like consoling you all the time. If it's every once in a while you have a hard patch, everyone has a hard patch, you know? And that's totally fine. I think it's if it's all the time or like you're depressed or like everything's always going wrong and you never see the positive, that's when it starts being like, okay, well, you know?
Yeah. It's hard.
It's hard. And I now like that we're talking about this, I'm like, yeah, you could be, but then you can't really be all the time.
No. I get that. I get that.
I
Yeah,
get
too
that
much
too. Yeah.
because I don't like that. Even when my boys do that, even with my like guy to guy, it's like, yo, all right, I get it. You know, get out of like let's figure this shit out. Stop moping. Right.
Yeah.
So that's another like I get that, but it's also I've been in the sense where the girl is super down, right, and then it's like, how does the like I'm still not sure how I get a woman out of that. Like if roles are flipped, she's super down and I'm trying to bring it out, but it's just like
how do you try and bring it out?
Same type of thing, but I think women take it differently.
Like good or bad?
Bad. Really? I don't think women are very receptive of that type of reassurance, because when a man is in a bad place, he just wants to know that his girl isn't going to leave him.
100%. I agree with that.
When a woman is in a bad place, she kind of knows her man isn't going to leave because she's in a bad place. She has to figure that shit out on her own problems, whether he says what he says or not. Nothing he's going to say is going to actually help with what she's dealing with.
So I think with women is when we come to you with problems, we're not actually asking for a solution, and you guys are solution based. You're like, okay, well then just do this. And it's like, just listen to me.
Yes.
I don't want you to figure out my solution. I just want you to listen to me.
Yep.
And which is why I think having girlfriends is so important, and guys having guy friends is so important, because we cannot be everything to each other. There's things you're gonna get out of having boys as friends that I will never be able to give to my man, and vice versa. Like, we love to gossip. That's how we get off, you know? Like, we just love to do the things that certain men are just not gonna want to do. And I feel like you start to get the right person when your like lives collide, but you have your lives together and your lives separate, you know? And it's not just like, oh, we're together now and we are one and everything we do is together. I feel like that's when things fall out of, things just go south, right? Because like you're now depending on this person for everything, and one person can't bring you everything, you know? And you got to learn that. And I think for me, the biggest red flag is guy or girl is when they don't have friends. Yeah. You know, it's like, what is like looking back now, okay, on my last relationship and how I met him and through the buddy he was with. After we started dating, I was like, you don't even really like this guy, right? You don't even really like this guy. So why are you friends with him? So I think when a woman starts really looking like at a man and like all the things, I get to a realization where I'm like, right, because his whole life wasn't already perfect before I came into it, you know? Like, you didn't have that solid foundation. Right. There was so many weird things, and it's like, I look at it now and I'm like, right, like I could never change that. in him. I could never. Like, those are his problems, right? Those are his insecurities. And I could be there for him. I could tell him he's the best. But if mentally he's not there, whatever I say, nothing is ever going to change. That's why I think that, like, regardless of what a woman tells a man needs to feel it inside. You know, he might need, like, okay, to know that the girl's not going to leave. But I feel like for a man, it really comes from within. Like, you got to just work on yourself.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like, I think it just, as we get older, like we just see, I feel like a lot of women as they get older don't have that many friends.
Yeah. I mean,
I
again,
feel like women are just very
quality
petty with each other. And it's like, there's like this like level of competition between women, like this like unsaid competition, this unsaid like animosity between a lot of women where it's hard for you guys to like find real friends as you get older, where like, I think like a man, like I met John 3 years ago, you know, 3 years ago, 2022, 4 years ago, going on 4 years ago, you know, and like, we're like this.
Yeah.
I didn't know him my entire life. I feel like it would be hard. I think it's just harder for women as we get older to find like close knit friends, you know?
Yeah. I think it's so tough because I have obviously childhood friends that I'm still like super close with, but I've also made friends over the years that are not, you know, childhood friends that are just as important to me as my childhood friends. I think in life, some people are there forever, seasons, you know, like not everyone's there to, you know, be there the whole ride, and it always teaches you something. But I feel like for sure, like I always used to think like it's really a red flag when I see women don't have friends. They're like, I'll just hang out with guys. I'm like, what about you is like, you know what I mean? Like you're getting validation only from men. They're like, why can't you keep girlfriends? Like that is a big red flag. But I never realized how important it was even for a man until like, until my last relationship.
Do you think guys can actually have girlfriends?
Can guys have girlfriends? No.
No shot, right?
No. I'm traumatized from my last experience. So absolutely not.
Of having
What,
a guy
your
friend.
Of
Your
having,
ex had a girlfriend?
Yeah, I don't think that any man should have girlfriends, and I don't think any girl should have any guy friends. I think it's just, I respect you, you respect me. If you don't respect me, then I don't want to be with you. Like if you can't see the value in me and only having me, why are we together? You know what I mean? You can what you need to get out of your boys, you'll get out of your boys. What are you not getting in me that you need to have a girlfriend? Think about that.
What if your guy has a girl best friend that was before you?
It's a tough one because I'm never someone who's going to tell my man what to do. I just want to see the way he moves, and then I'll see how I feel about it.
Well, what if she has like a long-term boyfriend and your man and her have never ever been anything more than platonic or anything?
I actually think if they never fucked, it's worse.
Yeah, because the tension is built up.
The tension is built up, and there's always that like what if, where it's like almost like if you saw it through, you're like probably like, okay, this would never work. You know what I mean? Sometimes I actually think it's worse because there's always a piece in your mind that's like, what if, you know, like, and most guys would probably still fuck. Let's be honest.
Is it the girl that wants to do it more or the guy?
Depends the emotional like intelligence of the woman and like if she has daddy issues, like what the vibe is. Because a lot of women will also want a man only when he's taken.
Or if she doesn't like you.
Right.
What if she's not a fan of
two.
you?
But I
Now
think at
she's
the end of the
like,
day, I don't worry about women because at the end of the day, the only person that needs to respect me is my man. I don't care about the outside girls. Like I want the fucking hottest girl to try on my man and he declines, you know? I think that's how you really know somebody is like, no, like I'm with you.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you think you could actually have a guy friend though?
No.
Like a platonic guy friend?
I think like I can have guy friends, but if I'm in a relationship, like that's cut off. If I see you, no hard feelings, hi, bye. Like it's just, it's not that deep. Like I'm someone who's had guy friends and then they got in relationships and I'm not there texting them, trying to get attention from them. I understand that the relationship is different now because you have a girlfriend. I'm not going to try and like create problems in their relationship because we all know what happens after. They're going to fight about it. They're going to end because the girl could never get over the fact that like I was messaged. Like it's just fucking, I don't know, like grow up.
Yeah.
It's not that deep.
Yeah.
Do you think the
Also, why do you need validation from other women? Like deep down, what is it?
No, I know that, but like I think sometimes I get a good perspective from like a female friend, like when I'm saying if I'm dating or like
When
with-
you're single.
yeah.
For sure. But then when you're dating somebody, why do you need to
But
talk
I'm saying
to another
like what
girl?
if,
You
like
have
if you got like a close knit person that's been through like thick and thin with you and has helped you out, you've helped them out, and you guys are opposite genders, and then you get in a date, you start dating, you cut that person off.
100%.
I feel like that's crazy.
100%.
Because that person that you're dating isn't going to be there forever. They will cheat on you and leave you, but that person that is your like that genuinely has your
No. Because the guy who I'm friends with, that's a guy would fuck me. It's different. It's not the same. And also, like, I want to respect my man. Like, I don't want him to have to even think about another guy. Like, if I have a problem, my man will solve it. Why do I need to have another guy friend? And if we break up, I have my girlfriends to fall back on. Why the fuck do I need this random dude? Even if we're friends, like, he's not my responsibility, you know?
Yeah, no, I totally understand that, but I just think sometimes it's good for us to get a different perspective outside of your homegirls. Like your
And I
girls
think
are gonna be team you regardless.
I think that's true.
But a guy is gonna tell, like, I'm gonna like if you came to me with dating advice, hey, he's doing this, I'm gonna be real with you,
100%.
and I'm gonna tell you that. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we need that. So I'm just saying, in the sense of like, say you had like a best friend over time, you just like let them go because you start dating someone, even if there's no sexual tension there.
Mm-hmm.
Even if maybe he would, if you gave him the opportunity, would he sleep with you off of pure attraction? Sure.
But I think,
But he's not actively trying.
I think at the end of the day, like relationships are a mirror. And if I'm respecting my man and I'm not doing that, I expect the same in return. And it's just a respect thing. Like, if we have an issue or a problem, I would expect you to come, we'd communicate and fix the problem in a mature way. And if we can't fix it, we can't solve it, and we break up for whatever reason, then, then go talk to your girl about it. But like, I also don't like people knowing my shit. Like, I want to feel like if we have a problem, we can solve it, and you don't need to go get advice from another fucking Insta babe. Like, what are we doing here?
Fair.
Like, and then I'm gonna feel like all this time that I'm like so open with you that you're able to like talk to me about anything, that you weren't really real and open with me the entire time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to ever feel like one of your girlfriends really knows how you feel and I don't, and I'm in the relationship. What the fuck?
Right.
Like, I feel like as a woman, the biggest thing is we never want to feel like an idiot. And I think men too. But as a woman, like, if I'm walking out, I want to know that my man is only for me. And like in my last relationship, he was like, wow, the thing I love about you the most is like, I know you would never, like, I trust you 100. Like, I know that you would never do anything. And I think probably from previous relationships or like things that have happened, he always felt a little insecure. And like, because the girls were probably playing games. I came in 100 and he wasn't there, like he was still in that. And it's like, it's fine, but we're not going to work, right? Because I want a man who's like, I'm here for you and no other woman really matters. You know, I don't need validation from these other girls. I know who I am.
Yeah. I think it's tough. I mean, I agree. It's probably a bias and one-sided opinion. Like, yeah, like my girl can't have a guy best friend. But I feel like I could have a girl best friend.
No. What? You're making me mad. Why? Why is it different? Would you fuck that girl best friend if you weren't together?
If I didn't have a relationship.
If you were not with your girl
and we're just best friends.
Yeah. Would you fuck her?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why you can't be friends with her.
Kind of did just prove her point.
I understand that, but I'm saying like I wouldn't.
And it's not to say that you won't be loyal.
Yeah,
but
that's
just
what I'm
like,
trying to say. But I understand that, but it's just like I know the male's mind, so that's why I can be honest and say that. Would I? Sure. A lot of guys would.
Yeah.
But your best friend is going to try to do that to you. I'm not trying. I'm not guys, right? Like I'm not everyone. So I can confidently say that. Like, sure, if I had the opportunity, yeah, sure. If I was single and it was just a one-time thing, cool.
So then the difference would be that women should actually be allowed guy friends because we normally are not going to sleep with our best friends because we hold the power. So the fact that you guys don't hold the power is why we're not okay with other girls because we know how girls move. And that's the difference. I know how I am, so I can speak for myself and be like, yeah, I could have a guy friend. I know my loyalty. But as a guy, you guys are a little bit dumb and not understanding like women and how they move. Like a lot of women will only want you when you're in a relationship. And like we can see other women and how they move, which is why we're not okay with it. You know, like there's so many things. Oh, it's just
but like what if you know her? Like what if you're introduced, like you guys do group activities, like and friends and stuff like that, you know? Like what if you guys all go bowling? Like he introduces you, yo, this is my best friend. Like, and there's no physical history. There's nothing. There's no intimate, like sister type shit.
No.
Yeah. No, I mean, hey, that's fair. It's each
And you
his
know
own.
what?
But like,
And this is me coming out of a relationship where I was like, you can have girlfriends. I'm getting out of it now. And I'm like, no.
yeah. No,
Like I did it. And I was like, I was the chill girl that's like, I'm not going to tell you what to do. The second you disrespect me, the relationship is over. I'm not going to tell you who you can, who you block. I'm not that girl.
Yeah.
I expect you to handle it how you think it's appropriate, but just don't disrespect me. And then what I realized through that is that I want to be with a man who wouldn't want to have another girlfriend, who would want to make me his priority.
Sure.
And so it's not even about telling a guy what you want. It's about finding somebody who understands it already.
yeah. No, I think it's fair. I mean, just the same way we look at guys is the same way you look at girls.
Yeah.
And like neither of us can see it. So, but like
Yeah.
I see both sides.
But I
I'm
guess
not-
like, why can't you speak about it with your boys? Like, why do you need that female perspective when you're not in the relationship?
because sometimes men, we don't speak the woman language.
Yeah.
So sometimes I need to like, what do I say in this situation? You know, or why is she like, what do you think is going through her mind right now? Because like, yes, all women are different, but a lot of you guys think the same, right?
Yeah.
Like just like a lot of men think the same. So sometimes we need like a woman perspective to kind of bring us down to earth. Because the guy, I'm gonna get the same opinion from him, from the next guy. Like we all think the same. Like we're innately our brains and our chemistry and the way we're wired, like the way our nervous system works, the way we react, we all kind of think in the same ballpark. So sometimes it's nice to get that fresh perspective.
100%.
And like, I'm like, damn, I never even thought of that. And like, sometimes it's just as simple as a girl telling you like the simplest thing that a guy couldn't tell you, like he couldn't give you that information.
Yeah.
Because we see the world from two different lenses.
Yeah.
All the time. So sometimes it's nice to like be like,
Yeah.
and like you get some clarity. It's like, oh, that's why she's doing that. But my guy best friend would have never told me that because
For
he
sure.
didn't even see it.
I think it's really also because I feel like men don't see it and women will see it.
Yeah.
We see the way a girl acts and we get it and you guys could be innocent to it. So I think it's just like eliminating that thing that just like doesn't have to even be a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for sure, if you're like dating or you're not actually dating somebody, but you're seeing someone, for sure, get a woman's perspective, for sure. But I think like most women should understand that when a man gets in a relationship, like I'm not going to hear from this man anymore or very little or like, yeah, hi, bye type of thing. Like, I feel like if a woman were to get mad at the guy for like, you know, just kind of going MIA after he gets in a relationship, then that woman was probably in love with him. Because I'm telling you, I'm a girl and like, I would be like, I get it. 100%. I get it. You're in a relationship. Why the fuck would I want to, you know?
No,
Like,
it's
what is
fair.
she not getting in her partnership that she
For sure.
needs to get from you? Like,
No, it's fair.
you know?
No, I get it. Absolutely.
Wow. It built up so much resentment from my last relationship. Oh
Yeah,
my
you're fired
God.
up about that.
Oh my God. It's so triggering. It's so triggering. I'm like, never.
Well, those make for the best conversations, though. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long have we been rolling for, by the way?
We're
Has it
about
been an hour?
About an hour.
yeah,
Yeah. 14.
Okay. Should we go for like 10 more minutes?
Sure. Whatever you want to do.
Okay, so would you guys date a girl that you slept with on a first date? Why you guys laughing? Why is he laughing?
What?
If a girl sleeps with you first day, are you gonna be like, she's for the streets?
No. I think we differ on this. We had this
Oh
conversation.
wow, really?
We had this conversation one-on-one
Yeah.
when
Yeah, we've talked about this.
we've talked about this. Yeah, I'm
I don't know, dude.
no, I'm not against it at all. I guess it depends. Is like
You think you're the first one?
no, but
I'm
my
saying.
my thing is here when you say first date,
100%.
all right, cool. But what if it took 6 weeks to get that date? We've been talking and I'm busy and you're busy and you're not in the city. I'm not in the city. We haven't been able to coagulate, but we've been calling, we've been texting, we FaceTime X, Y, and Z, and then finally we go on the first date. We kind of like had our first date virtually already multiple times. We got to know each other. We figured out that we're attracted to each other, whatever the case may be. It was unspoken, but then we get to go on a date. Have no problem being intimate that night. I'm not saying it needs to happen.
Yeah.
I'm not pushing for it. It's not a pressure thing. It's not like, oh, fuck, we've been talking for 6 weeks. I have to have sex on the first date. But like, it depends. Did I meet her out at like a fucking social event 2 days ago and now we're going on our first date and she lets me hit? Like, of course, I'm like, all right, this has happened before. But if we meet via socials or like whatever the case may be and we just haven't been able to like coagulate, and then 4, 5, 6 weeks later, we go on our first date and shit is rocking, I don't see a problem with that at all. So I think there's exceptions to every rule. What I say, like generally speaking,
Yeah.
if the first date is within like the first week or something like that, and you meet her out in a social setting and she lets you hit right away, then yeah, there's probably an issue.
Yeah. Zach?
Yeah.
I feel like you're like
No, I just think I'm not trying to knock the girl that does that. It doesn't mean she's not a good girl or she can't be a good girl. I'm not saying that, but just from the man's mind, sometimes it's hard to look past that if it's that, because we think like, I don't know. Yeah, maybe I mean I don't know. I think I'm a decent candidate for a woman, but I don't think am I that good? You know?
So you're saying if she lets you hit on the first night,
Probably let a bunch of other guys do that. And it's like, is that someone you want a wife? Can a girl that has done that in her past turn to a good wife? Sure. I mean, everything is case by case. It's all, scenario based. Absolutely. I'm not like justifying it or downplaying someone that does that and says, oh, you can't be a good future partner. Sure, you can. But just from like the man's perspective, I don't know. I think it's hard. I mean, like that's kind of like where I lean towards it. It's just like, I don't know. On paper, I would not want to sleep with my future wife the first night that we go out. If it happens, great.
Will you continue to pursue her after that though?
It depends. It really depends. Like,
Okay.
Yeah, like who she is, how the date went, like,
Yeah.
how is our conversation? How is everything outside of just sleeping together, right? So like, I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of things that go into that to dictate whether we're going to continue to speak and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I just think, I don't know. I think it's I don't know. What do you think?
So I've had like in my entire life, like 2 one-night stands, and I hated the way I felt. Like I
Yeah.
hated it. And I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I can't do this. I don't like how I feel. And also in the back of my mind, even if they were pursuing me after, like they were still messaging me, in my mind, I'm like, I can't be with this person because I slept with them on the first date and I know how they're looking at me and I don't want that.
Why does a woman sleep with a guy on the first night?
Oof.
If they know that in the back of their mind that like, this is probably not good.
I think, look, life happens sometimes and it just kind of like,
Heat of the moment.
yeah, like, or I don't know. I mean, for me, it hasn't happened often, but I think sometimes like life, it just, I don't know, it just happens or like, but like I would never now, like that feeling I felt, I would never do it again.
But
What did you feel like?
I just feel like a whore.
But when I hear one night stand,
And it's not like they made me feel like a whore. It's just in my mind, you shouldn't give it up that easily.
But because you said one night stand, so you just correct me if I'm wrong. But when I say
It wasn't like, hey,
no,
we're
but I'm
meeting
saying
up,
like, did
sex,
you go
but,
on
like,
a date?
That's sounding really bad.
Did you
but,
go
like,
on? Was
yeah,
it,
for sure.
Okay, because when
But
I
that
hear
doesn't change anything.
But when I hear one night stand, I think we just met for 2 hours in the club and now we're drunk and we're going back and then we're just never going to talk again. I don't when you go on a first date and you sleep with somebody, it doesn't sound like one night stand to me if he tries to pursue you after. If you guys never talk again, then yeah, cool, no doubt. But if I
Yeah.
pick up a girl in a bar at 2 a.m. and we're back in my house by 4:30 and she's up at 7 and she's leaving and we never talk again, that's a one night stand, and no, she has no wifey potential at all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I'm just saying when you said one night stand. So when I hear that, I think something different than going on a first date, having a conversation, sleeping together. You know?
I think also when you want something serious, you really, again, want to see how someone's going to move. And like just sleeping with someone right away just removes that, like, I guess that idea that they have to like chase you and stuff, you know? And it's like, if you really want to see how a guy moves, see how he moves when he doesn't get any, you know? Like I feel like a lot of times people are like, I don't know, is he into me? Is he not? Well, like ride the wave, go on dates, see if his actions align with like what he's saying. And like, you're going to know if he's like down.
Yeah.
I guess the other part to it is that sex is an important part of a relationship. So just like playing the opposite side to the coin, right? Sex is an important part to the relationship that men and women are both probably like, I also don't want to take 60 to 90 days to get to know somebody and then we're just not compatible sexually.
Right. But then you guys also
know.
want a girl who doesn't have a high body count. So it's like,
Well,
choose.
for sure. I was just playing the other side.
Yeah,
to it.
yeah,
You
no,
know,
no.
it's just.
But that's the
you're
thing.
right,
These
for
are the
sure.
pressures of like being a woman, right? It's like, okay, besides like having to look good and be in a relationship and not be like old and still looking for someone, it's like we also deal with like, oh, don't give it up. But then when you don't give it up, it's like then they will leave, you know? So it's like you
Yeah.
have to really like learn to know who you are. And like there's going to be so many men that are just not going to be about that and they're going
Yeah.
to leave. But it's like,
I've also never asked a woman her body count either. Like if you hear through the grapevine and through a friend, like
well, also
so
people
and so,
could just lie too, like, right?
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like if you're a man and you're asking a body count, it's like
The body count thing.
grow up.
The body count thing becomes a thing to men. I think it's when like maybe you know somebody that she had sex with. Like, because how are you ever really going to know how many people that she's had sex with? But once
Yeah.
it starts to become, whether it's a friend that's like off the table, but like even if it's you're in the scene, like in New York, it's a very small scene at the end of the day, like club scene, all going to the same places. You have sex with a girl, and then you find out later she had sex with X, Y, and Z. Well, like you don't know her body count, but you're just like, all right, no, I'm good.
I could
You
never
know?
date a girl that I know someone slept with.
I can see that.
Like you
Yeah.
know them or you're friends with them.
Yeah, like what's the like if they're
If
friends?
I know them. Friends, absolutely not.
Of course.
But even if I know them.
Like know of them or you
Interesting.
Yeah,
know
I
them.
can't walk into a spot
Okay,
and
that's
with
a
my
little-
girl
Yeah.
and some dude just had a one night stand with her 8 months ago.
What if they had like
And he just looked at her like a piece of meat, and I'm like, I love you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just can't.
I get
That's my
that.
own insecurity, and I'm not saying it's right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I just
I get
couldn't.
that.
I couldn't like. It doesn't mean that she hasn't. The girl that I'm with hasn't done that in the past. I just don't want to know about it.
But what's your body count?
No, I would.
What's
I would
what's
never
a high
ask.
body count for a girl? I'm curious because obviously the older a woman gets, right, it'll be higher. I know this question is so fucking loserish. I'm just curious.
it's not, but like
I would prefer under 10.
Yeah,
Okay.
my innate reaction is to say under 10, but like I could also understand how I could also see how like a woman could have over 10 and not be a whore also.
Yeah.
I'm 31
Yeah.
years old, 32
Yeah.
years old.
I would really like under 5.
Okay.
Of
But
course,
I'm
that's honestly perfect because I would say I don't want to be her first, right? Or her second or her third, but like you also don't want to be super far down the list. So yeah,
Yeah.
obviously I would say under 5 is perfect, but I could understand that there's exceptions to every rule and that if you have over 10, that doesn't automatically make you a hoe, you
Yeah.
know? Because I wouldn't want you to think that about me.
No,
You know?
Yeah, what did I say last night? That was funny. Oh yeah, I'll say it. I don't care. No, I was gonna like.
You got 4 minutes.
I just said I think it's insane that sometimes like guys will like beg for a girl or like try to like, get with a girl and like at some point like she begged a guy to like put it back in.
Wait. Sorry. repeat
Wait, yo,
that.
I did not know that's where you were going with it.
Just please repeat that because I actually like
Yeah.
repeat.
Like a guy will feel like he's like trying to just even like get on a date with a girl and like he's like almost like begging, like asking, like trying to plan. And it's like at some point like she was begging a guy to like put it back in.
What he said last night was this: it's hard. I think it might be hard for me to get married because at some point the girl that I'm gonna marry asks another dude to put it back in.
So that's why I want the least amount of bodies. I want the least amount of put it back ins.
In a perfect world, yeah, of course.
Okay.
I just think that's crazy. Like I'm like working here and like you asked him to like you were like put it back.
I get it.
Yeah.
But
sure
also grow up a little.
No, I know.
She's gonna
No, I
ask
got-
you that.
Huh?
She's gonna ask you that. Hopefully, hey,
What?
put it back in. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
and that's when it's gonna bother him when he hears her say that.
No, not at that point.
not at that specific point.
Post
At
nut
that
clarity.
very moment.
Post nut clarity.
Yeah, it's like, was that your first time you said that? Probably not.
But like, do you want to be with a girl you take her virginity?
No.
You don't? Would you if you met a girl who didn't?
Sure. Teach her the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, like I don't need that. I just don't. I like to keep it under 10. Would be.
Yeah, I
I,
think
don't want to
that's-
know that.
I think
Actually,
that's a-
I don't want to know. I don't. I would. I've never asked that.
Yeah, I would never.
I've never
But the
asked
thing
that.
is like you'll see the way a girl moves, and you don't need to ask her.
No, you don't.
You'll know when you meet someone. You'll know if she's promiscuous or not.
Yeah.
Like you just know.
Most women like would like ask me.
What?
I've gotten that
I don't really care.
right
how
after
many-
sex.
I don't really care how many.
Is that a good sign? Right after sex.
That means that you perform to a level that.
That was good, right?
She's like, damn.
She was
you-
like, how many? And I was like, and then I said a number, and then I was like, how many do you have? And she said a number. I was like, all right.
What
I've
was the
never-
number? Like 7 or 8.
Hers was 8. Yeah.
I feel like
She's
that's
lying,
the
right?
sweet spot for
Multiplied.
that.
Yeah,
Multiplied by 3, J. Cole.
I've never ever been asked that question. I would unless like I would probably lie unless it was somebody that like I was really like with and seeing. I would probably lie about it, regardless of what the number is.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
And
Your
I'm
number's like really, really high? Or
No, it's not. I just don't think that this is.
What's a high number for a guy before he cuts?
I don't really think about it, but maybe if it starts being over 100.
Oh, damn.
Oh damn. Okay.
All right, I'm all right.
Yeah, I will
Shit.
probably always from forever be all right. I don't think
Well,
I'll
wait.
ever hit that
That's
number.
what I said in the past, but I would like a guy to have a lot less now. But
Well, what?
again, I meet the perfect guy and he's ready, like, and he's like, my body count's 100. I'm gonna be like, I'm never gonna talk to you. Like, come on now,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. I'll never be close to that. Yeah. It's not happening.
You know what? Maybe I should date a guy who has a lot less
Yeah.
high of a body count.
100%.
That would be fucking amazing.
Just say because we're gonna wrap, right? If under 10 is good for a woman, I would say under 20 is good for a guy. Double because it's
Yeah, but just because he has a bunch of bodies doesn't mean he's good at sex.
that's true.
That's true, actually. You're only really good at sex if you've had relationships. Because most girls who have sex with you on one night are not going to tell you that you're fucking wrong.
Right.
That's
It's going to
true,
be your
too.
relationship
That's true,
that's
too.
going to
She's
be
just
like,
going to tell her girls that
babe,
what shit
do
was
this,
whack.
do that, you
Yeah.
know? So you learn more through. Wait, what'd you say?
I said she's just going to tell her girls that shit was whack. All right, yours cut.
That was it.
I'm fucking dead. Pretty much.
Thank you for the X podcast.
Yes.
This was fun.
Yes, this was great.
This was so fun, guys. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
I'm fucking dead, guys.
The ex you keep coming back to.